Lynn Kenyon, live in Montana real estate. Hold your horses, and I mean literally. This is the coolest listing ever. You're going to have to really pay attention. There's so many different aspects to this. This is Deep Canyon Guest Ranch. It's in Teton County, in the canyon. As you can see, Charlie will show all the drone views, and this is a truly one-of-a-kind offering. So deeded acres, 580, BLM lease, 360, a creek running through it, borders the Teton River, just phenomenal setting. I mean, just the setting itself over the top. I mean, it is so breathtaking. And Montana's breathtaking, but this is what you aspire to. This is one of the really best, and we're just thrilled to be able to offer it to you. So you have this just epic setting, very private, on the way to the ski hill. So you've got that just up the road, and you've got conservancy ground ahead of you. But this is not in a conservation easement. So this one is unencumbered. You could visit about putting it in an easement. If you don't understand conservation easements, happy to visit with you about that. Huge tax advantage to those. So this is rare that this one was not encumbered, because a lot of the property around is, which is great, because there's not going to be a lot of development, obviously. It's going to be always very pristine, beautiful ground with views, live water, 3 springs, just a lot of things that go with the land. Then on top of that, on top of the land, these folks have had this since 1975 as a dude ranch. So if you want to operate a business here, turnkey, it's ready to go. You've got it. And if you don't, you want to make a compound, you want to, if you're a nonprofit, you want to do some kind of a church retreat, any retreat. I mean, it's just the ideas and the possibilities are truly endless. And that sounds dramatic, but it's just your mind will just will spin with ideas of what you could do here. So you can keep it as a nice private residence. You have some commercial usage. They used to have a liquor license. Their guests now, they just they serve them food. They house them. So the dude ranch aspect of it. So there's 3 cabins over here to the left. So 3 separate cabins, and they're duplex cabins. So they open up on each other. So you have 6 different groups you can put in those 3 cabins. They're logged, they're charming, they're fabulous. This is the lodge. I'm standing in front of the lodge. We'll walk into the lodge, and you'll just be blown away with how cool it is. I mean, and it's very, very historic. Just this has been in families for years. Then we have the house next door. We have an A-frame. We have building across building, places for your help to sleep. And then the folks who own this, their big house that they had brought here from Great Falls, moved it here, is a log home at the very end of the property. And that's also just a huge house. So, I mean, you could house many, many people, whether it's personal again or commercial. So, Charlie, let's walk into this. I mean, you can just see, just screams personality. These were the original doors. Look at how. So it's horse. Oh, and you get horses. Almost All of the furnishings, with a very few exceptions, are included. Commercial kitchen. So this, the gentleman who's selling it, is contractor, builder. He milled all these logs. So you can see this. He had a sawmill on the property. I mean, this is years and years of building this to perfection. And then this fireplace, the stone fireplace, real burning, as you can see, was built by a local gentleman. Nice log hearth. I mean, just this, sold. It's way, way cool. So guests can come in here and relax after eating. There's a bar here next door. Upstairs is all a conference area, just lots and lots of stuff up there, space up there, usable space. Chuck. Are you around? Hey,
yeah, I am.
Thanks for coming and showing us this amazing, amazing property and everything that goes along with it.
Thank you for those compliments. And
Yep. I was just telling the folks, you've been here since 1975.
We've owned this place since 1975. Yes.
Yep. And you did all this building in here.
Pretty much.
Yep.
But we planned it out and we started it and we spent some time building it.
Oh yeah, you can tell. Well, we were just walking through this little room. Do you have the bar? Is this what you call this space?
This was a bar. In the very beginning, this was their dining room.
Okay.
And right back here was their bedroom.
Oh, where the bar is? Oh,
Yes.
charming.
You can see the slope.
Oh, yeah. I can.
Back in the days of that, they didn't have machinery to take all the dirt out, so they just kept.
Left it and went over it. I
Star
like it.
stepping
I
it.
like it. This is beautiful. Was this original then? When you
No.
bought it?
That that was started back in 1958 when Dave's parents sold the ranch to this man that wanted to come in and build a bar and restaurant here.
Okay. And this used to be a bar restaurant that people wanted you guys to reopen, right?
Yes. When we bought the land in 1975, we bought it primarily, we needed the grass for our horses because our business was up there running outfitting trips into the Bob Marshall. And we were building it and needed more grass for more head of mules and horses, and this place at that time was pretty much dormant, just sitting there.
Dormant. What is the story on that? I remember you told me when I was here last time, the skull.
The skull was up at the Seven Lazy P.
Okay.
And where it came from, I don't know.
But isn't this called the Skull Room or something?
The Bleached Skull Saloon.
Bleached Skull Saloon. There you go. Say that fast. Well, let's walk through here and so people get an idea of what we're looking at. So this is all the interior walls are log.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fabulous. You've got all the history here you can see. And then when you come in here, you've got the stones. Now, are the stones from this area?
Yes.
Okay.
Most of these stones came from Choteau Mountain up here.
Choteau Mountain. And then he's got the little pond. I want Charlie to show that. That's just wonderful. And this is where all your guests come and eat.
Yes.
Yep, good. Very nice. You can 3 fireplaces just in this building alone, just in the lodge. Yeah,
Yes.
That's nice. All that stone, beautiful floors. You've got an extra little party room here with the pool table, and this is adjacent to a commercial kitchen. So let's walk in here, and this all is included. All of the equipment in the offering is included, so you can see you've got this. We want to show off Charlie for sure.
This was put in here by the man that built the barn restaurant.
Okay.
And
So what? Dishwasher.
dishwasher, yes.
Do the recipes go with it, Sharon? And the cook. I can see why people come back and back. You guys are wonderful. So this is really nice to have this. So you're providing breakfast, lunch, and dinner when you have a trip to your guests?
Yes. For our riders that want to go on horseback ride, we usually pack a sack lunch,
Okay.
have it on the trail. That way you don't have to ride out and then come back in
Sure, that makes sense.
eat.
Totally. Nice big pantry. All right, well, this is the bulk of the lodge. Let's go ahead and go over and look at some of the other outbuildings. Let's start with the cabins.
Sure.
Okay, so to better understand this, we just left the lodge. And as you're looking at the lodge, to the left are 3 of the duplex cabins. You can see they're very well made. This one's Aspen, log base, log front porch. And how old are these?
They vary. This was the first one.
Okay.
I tore down an old cabin here and built this.
Okay.
And same with the Trapline, the next one up.
Okay.
We just built them.
Just build them. Okay.
Tore an old one down and
Build another one.
built another one.
So let's walk in. So these are packages at Deep Canyon Guest Ranch. That's what people are purchasing. So you get the whole package. You get whatever room you end up with. These are duplex, so they're mirrors of each other. This one with a queen bed and a single. And then they all have, each side of the duplex has a bathroom and a little spot to sit and eat. So we will show you one of them because they're, other than colors and design, they're pretty much similar. And there's so much we want you to be able to see the whole thing. So you can see this one is a mirror of this. Nice to have that door, so if you had a big group of people, you just have to open the door and you can share it and you each get your own bathroom.
Yep.
Privacy if you want it, openness if you don't. And then, of course, when you look out, look at this view. Every one of them just has this, stunning view.
Look at Ear Mountain.
Ear Mountain?
Ear Mountain has a history too.
What's that?
That's where the young braves, back when the Blackfeet were in the country, and they say that that's where the young braves went for their vision quest.
Oh.
Is they climb to the top of that, and they'd stay up there until they determined their name.
All right, let's go to the A-frame cabin, which is next. So you've got the 3 here, and then next door you've got the A-frame cabin. Let's walk over and look at that. Okay, so now we've moved, nice little path from the 3 cabins. Right behind the lodge is what you call the A-frame cabin and the honeymoon?
Started out the honeymoon, and then we turned it to the A-frame.
Okay,
Yeah.
And you built this too?
Yes.
Yep. So this has, as you walk into here, it has a full-on bedroom. Really nice. Again, he's got all the tongue and groove, all the log. Very, very what you'd expect in a guest cabin. And then it's nice because you walk out and they have a full-on kitchen. So they use this a lot for their help. You've got a little seating area. Upstairs you have beds. So it's all about, you want your help to stay on site if you can.
Yes.
Yeah. But you got to provide them housing, and there's not enough housing anyway. So we're lack of housing in this area. So there you go. So you've got this one. So you've got the 3 cabins, the lodge, and now the honeymoon cabin. Let's go to the next one. And if what you have seen already is not enough, is even more. What do you call this one?
The bathhouse.
The bathhouse. Okay,
Yeah.
There you go. And it is. So come on in. So they have coin-operated laundry. They've got a shower, a commode, a vanity, and then another bedroom again. So this is all just integral to the operation. If you didn't want to do a dude ranch, think of all the other things you could do, whether it's the family home, compound, the business, what they're doing. It's all about being able to put people in beds. So here's another one for you.
And this is usually part of the crew.
Your
stays
work
here.
crew. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's
This
go
is
to.
the cabin I came to in 1954
You did?
and took a job.
Oh, tell me
Well,
more. This.
It's been replaced,
Okay.
but this is where it was, and we just tore it down and added a little more room in it. But Joe White, the year he sold to the Hovdees, to Dave's folks, he came down and asked me if I would work for him that fall, packing hunters. Had sold the place, but it wasn't turned over yet. He
Got it.
finished that season.
Very cool.
And
So you see the history and just the continuity.
so this is where I made up my mind what I was going to do.
And what did you decide to do?
I was going to live my life in the mountains.
Well, that's
Oh,
a lot
yes.
of people's dream. You just did it. How old are you, Chuck?
88.
88. Wow. You know, seriously, doing this, getting up every day and being physical and having to interact with people. I mean, you're as sharp as a whip, so Sharon. So that's helped. I mean, that's people who want to give up. It shows. So this really, if you're out there and you're 75 and you want to live to longer, this is maybe what you need to pick up. So let's keep going.
We do.
Okay, now we have one that this was a kind of a charming story of how you ended up with this one.
Yeah.
Kind of charming.
Well, the fact that I had a sawmill, I had a lot of material. And we built this just the size of a 12 by 14 wall tent. And this was at the upper ranch, the 7 AZP. So we just built a platform, a floor, and set up a wall tent there. And it just so happened that I had a week or so.
Because you'd overbooked or something. Wasn't that the story?
Yes.
So he had to think fast. He overbooked and he had somebody who wanted to stay and he didn't have a spot. So voila. So Charlie will show you this one. Very simple, but just enough, all you need. And next door you've got the bathroom. So if you needed to go do that, there you have it. So I'm taking you one by one in the order that they are. These have probably been the simplest. The next two houses are full-on, very nice big houses with full bathrooms, kitchens, and that sort of thing. So Dave, and it was Dave's folks who, you worked for Dave's folks.
I did.
And Dave is now living in this. He's the caretaker, and we'll walk through Dave's house. Okay, so that's the lodge that Charlie's showing you now. Then you walk into Dave's house with complete full covered porch. All these logs adorning. Come on in. And this is really nice. Was this here when you bought?
Part of it.
Part of it, not as it looks now. Again, you've got a wood stove. You have the tongue and groove on the walls. Very, very cabiny. Big, long dining table. Dave's here, but this would be easily rentable. Airbnb, part of the whole operation, depending on who in the group wanted to have their own big house. So this has a bedroom here. Get all the tongue and groove. Lots of space. Bathroom.
No, bedroom.
Bedroom. So another bedroom. So when you walk in, you've got the one bedroom here, another bedroom here.
It's around the other side, Lynn.
So it's all about the beds. And they've got over 20 beds as it is. And you can see there's lots of spaces you could add beds if that's something you needed to do. This is kind of like a double living room. You've got two fireplaces in just one big room here.
Actually, yeah, the one,
So that gas.
it's gas.
So we've got a gas and we've got a wood burning.
I want to correct you. This isn't, it doesn't have a flue.
Oh, okay.
I realized that after we bought everything and built that, I wasn't comfortable about it being a safety hazard.
Okay. So it's screaming though. Be nice gas. Could put a gas one there.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, because you've
Yeah.
got the whole backdrop there. Then you've got, here's the bathroom. Knew we had a bathroom. There's a big bathroom here. Full bath. And then enormous kitchen. And this was you lived here at one point, didn't
We
you?
did.
You raised your kids or?
Yeah, we did.
So all the appliances, all the space, and then upstairs from here, from this kitchen space, again, the logs are just over the top. They're so nice. And this one, almost every space takes advantage of the views, but this one in particular, you get the full on. What do you call this canyon?
Teton Canyon.
Teton Canyon.
This is the North Fork. Just over that ridge is the South Fork.
So this again borders the river.
Yes.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yep. So you've got, Charlie will show you that with the drone. He'll get some good photos of the river. So river, creek, 3 springs, water's gold, and you should come mine it because it's great here. So this room is, I mean, just enormous and has its own bathroom. If you wanted the privacy, easy to throw up.
Yes.
So this one has, again, a full bath, jetted tub, all the tongue and groove, high ceilings, big closet next door, and a washer dryer upstairs. So this is a beautiful house. Very, very nice and large. And then there's a basement here too. Or
Yeah, there's a garage directly underneath this, and
okay.
and then a crawl space under the kitchen. That. Yeah.
Okay, let's go look at that. So this is Dave's house still. So we just walked from the big, huge primary bedroom up downstairs. And downstairs, you have a garage here, which is nice. And then if you walk through that garage, it leads you into more garages. So it's nice to have, and a shop. So here we go here. Nice to have. Automatic garage door opener. And when you're up here in the winter, this is where you
This
park.
is handy.
For sure. Very, very nice. Okay, so now we've driven from Dave's house and we're down to corrals. And what is this on the left here?
It's a blacksmith shop that we now just, you got to have a lot of storage in a place like this.
Sure. Yep,
So that's
yep,
what
yep.
it is.
And then right next to that where it says Deep Canyon Ranch, what's that?
Yeah, that's the barn.
That's your
with
barn?
a hayloft in it.
With a hayloft, okay, and then this charming little log cabin down here.
This
You'll
is-
also note that all these have fairly new metal roofs. So let's keep wandering down here. What's this then? What are you calling this?
This is the saddle shed
Saddle shed. Okay.
with an attached bunkhouse.
With an attached bunkhouse, so more
Right.
sleeping again. Okay, so there you go. Saddle shed and a bunkhouse. There you go, that's good. And then as you can see ahead, then the big fancy house that they had moved here is where they stay. So if you didn't want to stay up here, this would be more guest cabins. Again, if you're going to do, just depends on what you're going to do. That's why when I started off, it's just like your wheels should be spinning. There's just so many things, so many ideas. Do what they're doing, make it just for your whole group of people, for nonprofits, for schools, for retreats, for conference centers, for wedding venues. Just the enormous amount of possibilities on this. Quaking aspen all throughout there, and quaking aspen mean water. And you said you have 3 springs?
Yeah, there's a spring comes out of this grove of aspen here.
Okay, that makes sense. And we'll go up to the house.
And then aspen up there, a spring comes out there.
Okay.
And originally, they got their drinking water, their water, to the lodge from a spring above the lodge.
Okay.
And I forgot to mention that, but it just wasn't running enough water for us, so we had to
For
go
the
lodge.
lodge. Okay, now we're at the big house. Over 5,000 feet, you think?
No, it would be 1,700 times 2.
Okay, that makes more sense. Okay, so
Yeah.
big house and garage, lots of garage space.
A lot of garage space.
And then look at these logs. They're not exactly what you call toothpick logs. I mean, they're just way huge diameter. The metal roof. We're standing under a porch right now because it's raining, and we love the rain in Montana. So this was actually brought here from Great Falls, right?
Yes,
So you didn't build this one. They brought it here, and didn't it fall off for some funny story?
it fell off. Yeah, it was a crazy thing we did. But yeah, it fell in the ditch.
Fell in the ditch.
It rolled off into the ditch, I should say. But
Yeah.
this house, this was known as Blondie's.
Blondie's? When it was in Great Falls?
When it was in Great Falls. And that name kind of stuck with it because when we got it, the walls were more of a golden color.
Okay. Cool. So this is, I mean, the porch, I mean, hopefully you can understand the expanse, and Charlie's drone will give you a good idea. I mean, you've got this enormous rail just on and on and on with deck. And they live here. This is not part of their revenue stream. So this is where they stay, and there's a lot of space in it. So let's go take a look inside.
Okay.
So now we're in the big house, and I mean, just this by itself. I can imagine moving this, building it to begin with, and then look at the staircase. I mean, this is like Yellowstone Lodge. I mean, this is way over the top. High ceilings, tongue and groove, enormous logs, staircases on both sides, stone fireplace here. And then Chuck was just telling me the big house has the best views. And the reason why, tell us what some of these peaks are for those who haven't been out here.
Well, starting out, that's called Wind Mountain.
Wind?
W-I-N-D, Wind Mountain. And then it drops off into, this is Flat Top or Indian Head, because if you go up the road just a little ways, you can look across at it and it'll have the portrait of a Indian on the face of that cliff.
Oh, neat.
And we ride to the top of that.
Oh, you do with your guest ranch?
On our day rides.
But your property ends here at the river, right?
Correct.
Okay. So is that public ground then for you to go onto?
The top of it is Nature Conservancy.
Okay.
But we have to go into the National Forest
Okay.
to go up there.
Awesome. All right. I didn't mean to interrupt you. What's next then?
Well, that's Bear Gulch is right behind that. That's Chute Mountain, and then we have Ear Mountain.
And that's the one you were telling us about that they did the
Vision Quest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Really nice. But yeah, you see the whole thing from up here. You get the full appreciation of it. All right. So let's walk. So here's the front door. You can see the staircase. Here's another big space. Again, if you were going to rent this out, the logs are, again, just enormous. Nice cabinets, nice pretty white cabinets, and stainless steel dishwasher, double sink. Looks like tile floor, and just a big open space in here too. So this is nice if you had guests. Then we walk out here from the kitchen, and there's a big pantry there next to it, and then garage. But let's show off these rooms. Here's the primary bedroom on the main floor.
Yeah.
Primary bedroom, which is very large, and it has a door out to that deck that we started off on. So you can, from the primary bedroom, just walk out that door. And this is way oversized, big room. And then you've got the bathroom here, the main bath with walk-in closets, lots and lots of closets. And this is your bathroom, full bath, next to the main. And then this leads out to kitchen, which is nice. And again, they don't rent this. This is all just theirs. So if you're thinking revenue stream for all your kids or all your, whatever you're thinking, you've got plenty of space. Let's go right first. So we take this handsome staircase up right. They use it as a den, but easily a bedroom.
Well, that's the office.
Yeah.
Too.
So here's their office. It also has its own deck. And when you take a look from the outside, this is where one of them is. This is the far right. If you're looking at the house, this is the far right deck. Again, with phenomenal views. Walk out. Open loft. Another bathroom up here with a shower, so 3/4. And another bath.
Back to back.
Yep,
Same
mirrored,
thing.
kind of like the duplex. Yep, that's nice. Open loft space. And then another bedroom. So you have upstairs, you have 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, 2 3/4 baths, and then both of these rooms upstairs have their own deck.
Yes.
That's nice. All right, let's go through the garage, and then we'll take a ride into the mountains.
All right.
All right. Okay, so we just walked down from the kitchen into the lower level, and down here we have this very great, we're just storage room, huge storage room. To this side, we have a garage. Very nice. And you've got the logs on the side. And then to this side, you've got this very big garage. So lower level, you've got 3-car garage. Automatic door openers. So lots and lots of space and lots of storage. And frankly, you could make this living space if you needed it, depending on your use. Yeah, it's all in. It's sheetrocked, nice poured foundation, and you've got the logs, which are good insulation. So yeah, if you needed more space there, I was have to add some heating, but that would be okay. So cool. All right, let's go on the side by side. So we are on the 2-track. We're on the deeded ground right now, all along this trip. Right in front of us is one of the springs. We went past the canyon that has the seasonal creek on it. But one of the things, I sell a lot of rural property. One of the things, I want mountains, I want water, and I want flat. And you know, that doesn't always go together. So I think one of the things that I'm most impressed driving through here, you've got all these nice little trails for horses, but you have a lot of flat meadow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you have these shelves everywhere that we've seen throughout, and that's just that's very, very rare and very nice. It's nice, obviously, for the horses and that sort of thing. And you said coming up, we're going to see one of the original homesteads.
We probably won't get up to that because you can't turn around.
Okay.
There was a couple that homesteaded up here in the 1930s. And he was known as Dirty Shirt Page.
Dirty Shirt Page.
Yeah. I knew him because I lived right there at mouth of the canyon. But that was what they had to go through to get there.
Can you imagine?
This road.
It's rough in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a rugged people for sure.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah. Let's keep going.
That rim rock up there is
up there.
That's on deeded land. Another another person owns this rancher. But right on top is a lot of BLM land. Our land goes just short of that high rim rock.
Oh, okay.
Just down.
Your deeded part.
the deeded part.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a pretty meadow though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I just told you. Lynn Kenyon, live in Montana real estate, on the final part of our video today with Chuck Lixrud. He and his wife Sharon have had the Deep Canyon Guest Ranch since 1975. 1975. So it's been a joy being out here with you and going through everything and looking at everything. We thought this would be fitting to end the video. We're the North Fork of the Teton River. This is the Teton Canyon. And then, of course, as you know, they've got the creek, the seasonal creek running through the property too. So 580 deeded acres and 360 BLM lease, and building on top of building.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you can't argue with that. You're the one, you guys have to keep them maintained.
Yeah.
And they've done that with these nice metal roofs and just really good looking. Of course, you've got the lodge. You've got the big house that they live in that's over 3,000 feet. You have the other house that's about 2,400 feet. It's a real house, not just a little cabin. And then the 3 duplex cabins, and then assorted outbuildings for the help, and the saddle room and the forge, and just on and on and on top of this. You get a real feel for just the beauty. Is that what you love? What's your favorite thing about the ranch?
The whole thing.
The whole thing.
Yeah, I just, what I like about it is it's just the setting here.
Yeah.
But because I've lived here all my life in this part of the country, it's near to my heart.
It should be. Well, we appreciate it. We're very thankful that to have opportunity to sell this. I know it's bittersweet, but it'll be good. New steward, you've taken care of it. Now someone else is turn. So
that's what we're looking for, is a good steward.
A good steward. Well, thank you, Chuck. I appreciate it. Thank you for joining us. Come give me a ring, Lynn Kenyon, 406-770-0013. All kinds of videos and photos on the web, and water rights, all kinds of goodies we'd be happy to visit with you about. Thanks for looking.
So this is where I made up my mind what I was going to do.
And what did you decide to do?
I was going to live my life in the mountains. There was a couple that homesteaded up here in the 30s, 1930s, and he was known as Dirty Shirt Page.
Dirty Shirt Page.
Yeah. This is where I made up my mind what I was going to do.
And what did you decide to do?
I was going to live my life in the mountains.